back no hitters that had occurred. I don't remember back-to-back perfect games ever happening in the MLB.
I'm pretty sure Johnny Vandermeer did it.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Really?
Well, we'll find out in a second, but we said back-to-back perfect games.
So in 1963, pitcher Mario Ruiz became the only person known in history to be the winning pitcher and the losing pitcher in the same game.
What?
Okay.
How is that possible?
So here's the story. In 1963, he was pitching for, we'll call them Team A. They were hosting Team B. He was a starting pitcher for Team A, and they were leading 3-2 with 2 runners on base. There was an electrical problem at the stadium that caused the game to be suspended at the top of the 5th inning. So they had to postpone the game to be played later in the season. When the game was played later, Ruiz was traded to the other team. So when they resumed the game, there was a single that caused 2 of the runners to score because they were ahead 3-2 when the game was suspended. 2 of the runners that he left on base scored, so the game now went to 4-3 in favor of Team B, which was his new team. He came in and closed out the game, so he was recorded as the winning pitcher because they were ahead when he ended the game. But he was also the losing pitcher because the runners that he left on base scored when the game was resumed.
Wow.
So he was the winning pitcher and the losing pitcher in the same game.
I love that.
Okay.
There's no way I would have gotten that, but I love it.
Never had this much silence after a question.
That's the end of the 4th round?
That is the end of the 4th round. Chris and Dan are leading 90-56.
5th round. 5th round is our comeback time.
Is that your jam?
I guess.
It's peanut butter jelly time. Peanut
butter jelly.
I never understood the baseball bat part of that.
It's not supposed to make sense. Just think of like basically any acid song from any of those like bands. It's not supposed to make sense. Just
fair enough.
Your 5th round is the Rob Warman round.
Thank you, Rob.
Ben stealing my shtick.
Your first question is in art. The Venus de Milo statue is currently armless, but when it was discovered in 1820, it was accompanied by fragments of her left arm and left hand. What item was the statue holding in her left hand?
Now I got Bananarama stuck in my head. Thanks, Ben.
I'm your Venus.
I'm your fire.
Also shocking blue in the 60s.
Oh, that's right. I forgot they did it first.
All right, let's lock in. Let's lock in with that then. If you're okay with that.
Yeah, I'm perfectly content with that, bro.
Okay.
Kate,
we're locked in.
Kate, you and I feel the same way. We're like, I mean, we can say this. I don't know. I don't think it's right, but we can say it.
Yeah.
I feel
like I know.
So I feel like I've seen a goof in a cartoon like Animaniacs or something like that, where there was the statue of the Venus de Milo that had arms, and then something happened, and they cracked off, and
knocked the arm off,
and she stuck without them. And
I think you're right.
In my mind's eye, I'm picturing her holding a harp, like one of those U-shaped harps with a line across the top, and like a cupid almost.
I think a harp sounds really good. I would have never come up with that, but when you said it, it sounded like definitely something that's plausible.
I have that effect on people. Because I said it. It sounds like it might be right, and then it turns out it's wrong, and everybody's like, you led me wrong.
But I don't know that anything else we've come up with sounds better than that.
I agree. All right, let's go harp.
Dan and I have decided we'd like to crib that answer.
Wrong show.
Oh, crap. Yeah. Go ahead, Dan. I really had no idea.
So Chris and I went back and forth. First he said spear, and I was like, well, I don't know. I thought maybe a wreath. And then we were like, well, what is Venus the goddess of? Venus is the goddess of love, so probably not a spear because that's like warlike. So we were gonna go. I said maybe laurel wreath, but I was gonna say wreath. And if you want to be more specific, we can get more specific. But we went with wreath.
Venus de Milo was holding an apple in her hand.
Doggone it!
Oh,
I guess she was hungry.
Well, isn't the apple symbolic, like a fruit of love kind of thing? Like it
maybe
resembles a heart.
I like your answer. I was thinking like a lyre or something, but then that would be like if it was one of the muses or something like that.
Right.
Or we might be thinking of another statue.
There must be a statue with a woman holding a harp.
Yeah, I agree, Kate. I agree.
And if not, we need to sculpt one.
Right. I'll get right on that.
All right. You can make it out of bonding.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Man, I didn't realize Kate had that kind of game. That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
She has the tools. Well, time will tell if she has the game.
10 points to Ravenclaw. I want to say shout out to Katie Sikelski, who helps coordinate all of our recordings. I feel like the next recording that we have, I'm going to be like, yeah, I can host the case. I'm like, nope, Ben, we don't need you to host. Take a break. You destroyed all our players last time. You're in timeout until 2021.
These are good questions. There's nothing wrong with the questions.
We love you, Katie.
We love you, Katie.
All right, your second question from Rob Warman is in food and love.
Oh, there we go.
What ingredient, heavily relied upon by bakers for flavoring and texture, typically consists of baking soda and cream of tartar?
Kate, I feel like I want to go with that.
Okay.
You good with that?
Yep, that sounds good.
All right, we're going to lock in.
Well, we have a lot of thoughts. So I know
I had a lot of thoughts. You just kept saying no.
Well, okay. So like, speaking of Katie, another shout out to Katie. In the Inkling that just finished like a couple weeks ago, there was a question where she gave the chemical formula, which it's like NH, I don't know, a bunch of C's and N's or something like that, and it was cream of tartar, which I was really happy I came up with, and the question was something like used as a stiffener in whipped cream or in baking, like that. So I know cream of tartar is used to like stiffen things.
Yeah,
but
it is.
how would you? What happens when you put that with baking soda? I mean, there's obviously some kind of chemical reaction. Baking soda is like a bicarbonate.
Okay, but Dan, if that's supposed to be a baking thing, could it be meringue?
Ooh.
Because remember, that doesn't have much flavoring on that. I mean, the meringue part of it doesn't.
Even egg whites. Yeah, I mean, I know.
Oh, that's
meringue
right. Yeah, that is egg whites. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
My wife makes these amazing meringue cookies.
Okay. So I think we need to go sourdough, unless you have a better answer, Dan.
That's fine. Let's just go with sourdough and be done with it.
All right, we're locked in with sourdough, Ben.
Okay.
So, Kate, you and I didn't have much to start with, right?
Right.
I was thinking about the Inkling too, Dan, and that's the Rachel and I team up on that, and she got cream of tartar, and that's when I learned that was a powder. So the first thing that we said is, okay, these are two powders, and we talked about a bunch of stuff, and then it's like, well, I mean, it should be a powder, and then baking soda and baking powder came up. And we kind of thought that maybe this could be baking powder rebranded. Take these bad names for something and put a name like baking powder to make it easier to sell. And so we said baking powder.
Oh, okay.
I like that answer a lot. I thought about baking powder, but I never sent it to Chris.
Yeah, if you take baking soda and add cream of tartar, you get baking powder. Good job.
All right. Way to go, Jonathan.
How about that?
I think that right answer has allowed me to be able to host the next show. So thank you. Your last question, fifth round, is in astronomy, also known as science.
Science!
Name the only planet in our solar system where one day on the planet is longer than 1 year.
All right, Dan, if you're good, we're good. I'm good.
Yeah, let's lock in with that.
All right, we're locked in.
So, Kate, you said you were just reading something like this to your kids. What was that about?
Well, my 7-year-old loves outer space, and I'm trying to make him into a trivia kid, and he's kind of liking it so far. So, but no, we were just reading recently, and Jonathan, you and I talked about Mercury, closest to the sun, shortest year, hopefully being closest to the sun, smallest orbit. So we think maybe it is Mercury.
Okay.
We took the exact opposite side of that, and we chose Uranus.
Or Uranus.
Or Uranus. That's fine too.
A year on Uranus probably feels unending.
Well played.
The only planet in our solar system where a day is longer than a year is Venus.
Oh.
Man.
We felt like it had to be one of the close ones
One of those
because
inners.
you have to get around the sun quickly. Right. Like Uranus orbits the sun. I think it's years and years. And Earth years, Uranus takes many, many, many years to get around.
Yeah.
So
That's right.
Yeah, well, shoot. Okay, at the end of the fifth round.
Yeah, Chris and Dan have 90. Jonathan and Kate have 66.
All right.
And Ravenclaw has 60.
We were zero for that. We were 0 for that Rob Worman round.
Yeah.
Rob wasn't very kind to you guys.
No, he wasn't.
I have to send him a note about that.
I'd like to worry with Rob after the show.
All right.
I still blame Amir.
Going all the way back.
They're not warm.
All right. Your 6th round is a question in sports. It's the first
Sport ball.
Sports.
Baker Mayfield, quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, recently claimed the record for the most wins by a quarterback in First Energy Stadium, which is the Cleveland Browns Stadium, with 12 wins. Who was the previous holder of that record, who won all 11 games on the road?
All right, so you want to go the second one, Dan?
Yeah, I'll go with the second one.
I feel better with the second one than the first one.
Okay.
All right, we're locked in.
So I'm going to read your mind, Chris and Dan. You guys were debating between Ben Roethlisberger and Joe Flacco, and you picked between those two quarterbacks, the same as we're picking between those quarterbacks, because it had to be somebody who played in their division for more than 11 years. Right. I know Roethlisberger, I believe Roethlisberger was drafted in the 2004 draft. It might have been 2006, but that gives him 13 or 14 years to win 11 games, and he wouldn't have won the one where he was injured.
Yep.
So we said Ben Roethlisberger.
Okay.
Actually, you're super close. I should have probably thought of Flacco, but all I keep thinking of is the Flacco of this year, who sucks. And so I actually said Tom Brady, but I quickly erased that portion of it because, again, they don't play every single year. But we did lock in with Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, he played his college ball in Ohio, and he has a chance to actually reclaim a tie at the end of the season. It is Ben Roethlisberger.
All right.
Big Ben.
Your second question round is in Televisiones.
Television.
Good Morning Miss Bliss was a precursor to what 90s TV sitcom, which featured much of the teenage cast from the original show? And there's a bonus. Miss Bliss was played by what actress, perhaps best known for her teenage roles in the 1961 film?
Dude, we could lock in both. I mean, we could 1, 2, or 3, 2, 1 both, bro.
I agree, dude.
All right. Ben, so we'll do the first one and then we'll do the bonus. Are you cool with that,
Yes.
Jonathan?
Let's have 3, 2, 1 answer, 3, 2, 1 answer.
All right. Ben,
It'll be our first ever double 3, 2, 1 and a single question.
I like it.
There you go.
Okay.
Ben, count us down.
3, 2, 1.
Saved by the Bell.
3, 2, 1.
Haley Mills.
Mills.
Great job, both teams.
All right.
Shout out to the bonus brigade.
It's like I say, the
Bonus
easy questions for last, huh?
Chris is going to the bonus brigade concert later.
Isn't there a new Saved by the Bell or something rebooted?
There
again?
is, and it's awful. Oh, it's so bad.
I maintain it's probably of the same level and quality as the original Saved by the Bell.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong because the original Saved by the Bell is cringeworthy now.
We have fond
It's
memories
so
of it,
cringeworthy.
but
Yes.
it clearly wasn't good even when we were watching it.
Well, I think so. I think a lot of that has to do with Saved by the Bell was groundbreaking at the time in terms of teenage sitcoms and the situations they were in. And we think fondly of it because of nostalgia. But if you're just repeating that same formula, it's not groundbreaking anymore. So all you're left with is bad acting.
I don't agree that it's groundbreaking. Happy Days was a teenage sitcom before they got older.
But they weren't dealing with the types of situations that they faced with Saved by the Bell. I mean, they were
Maybe.
dealing with addiction and divorce and a lot of heavy stuff.
I'm so excited.
Different Strokes covered all that. Get out of here. Groundbreaking my
We gotta
butt.
roll.
Your penultimate question is the showdown.
Showdown.
Ooh.
All right. So here are your rules for the
That'll be
showdown.
fun.
I'm going to ask a question that has multiple correct answers. Each team will be given 3 minutes to submit a list of answers. The team with the most correct answers.
List of answer. Here's
A
your
list of
one
answer.
answer on my
That doesn't
list.
bode well.
I want cream of tartar. A list of answer. The team with the most correct answers gets 10 points. Any list with an incorrect answer will be disqualified. Now, if there's a tie, both teams will get the points. And Jonathan and Kate, since you're trailing, you can choose between 2 categories.
Ooh.
I have reality television or geography.
Oh, Kate, I think we got to go
I'm
to
definitely a
geography,
geography
right?
person.
Yeah, you
Yep.
seem like you're
If that's
solid
okay
at
with
geography.
you,
Oh,
I like
yeah.
that.
Here's your geography question. Let me get
European
the timer.
capitals. Let's do this.
We already had that.